Yup. What up, everybody? This is What's Up, Flobo, episode 168. I am back. Last time you saw me on the show, I was living it up in the hotel room in my 26-hour trip to Vegas. But I'm back hanging, doing the work as see fit. Before I get to today's topic, as you can probably tell by the title, just want to say, as always, I got this Patreon thing. You know, extra content, bonus content. You think that I'm working hard doing this every week and other shows every week? I'm doing more stuff over my Patreon. Patreon.com/Flobo Boyce. Become a member of the Boisterous crew and unlock bonus-ish. Please support the homie when you can. And, one of the things about being a content creator, for what I do, I know everyone has different flavors and all that, but the more you rely on technology, the more it could turn heel on you. I want to talk to you about that today because I know you've heard me ramble on about the stress of booking guests. You've heard me about the stress of making good shows happen as far as writing good shows and getting good questions and all that. And that's not to diminish that, but let's talk about the nitty-gritty. Technology, sometimes it can go awry. And even before you're talking about bad internet connection, although there is that too, it's about even getting in the game. Again, I said it's plenty of times. If you guys have a free, 12 minutes, I think it is, you can go back and watch What's Up, Flobo, episode number 1, where I had no idea about lighting or what cameras to use or what tech to use. It was, again, I say this a bunch of times, me talking to my laptop about what was going on in my life. And even then, I had things in my face. The light from the window was in my face. My camera looked like it was grainy. It was terrible. But over time, I built it up, and I've tried to change things, upgrade things. I'm due for an upgrade right now myself. I'm looking at other people doing their camera setups and their backgrounds and all that. But you got to start somewhere. But I remember how difficult it was not knowing what worked and what didn't. Another issue I was seeing too when you're out there making things happen, making content happen. A lot of my shows are live. This here is live to tape. I should say I hit record, I record it in one take, and then I either schedule it to go live or it's live with a delay. And so you're at the mercy of an internet connection. And if you guys have watched the last 2-3 weeks of What's Up, Flobo After Hours, one of the flagships of the New Amsterdam Network, you'll see one of the great things and drawbacks about being live is tech. Whether it's I'm lagging, but I can't tell, so I'm talking and no one can hear me, or my guest has a bad internet connection and they're not available. All that stuff came to pass over the past couple of weeks in like a little nutshell, a little microcosm. In fact, over the past year, I had to upgrade my internet to do this. It's more of an expense, really, because not only was my internet bill increasing randomly for no reason. I have Spectrum. They're terrible with this. But, I have auto pay as well. So I would, let's say internet was like $50, which it was when I first started. It was $50 I would pay automatically. And then 1 month every 12 or every 18, they would say, hey, man, you're $40 behind. And I go, how? And they would raise my prices without telling anybody, But I had to upgrade it during the pandemic because of what was going to happen here. And even then, sometimes it wavers. Even then, sometimes you get a little glitching action. Even then, sometimes you'll get a ping spike when I'm doing the video game stuff. It's frustrating. Really is. You sit there, you're talking about what you got to plan to make sure what works. You got to plan to have the best possible show, questions. And all it takes is just one glitch to put you in your head. This is why it matters. It's not just me complaining about Spectrum Internet, because I could do that all day. Is that in the run of show, we talked about keeping a cool head. We've been hosting forever. But a tech issue is just unique enough that there's a base knowledge of, okay, it's a tech issue. We could probably work with it. But it can be also unique enough to go, why am I lagging like this? Why does my camera want to register my background as a different color? And I notice when things like that happen, I get in my head and the content suffers. But I can't bail because I'm doing it live. One time, here in California, there's something called the seismic retrofit, which is by law, a lot of these older apartments have to get basically sturdier foundation to withstand an earthquake, which we are paying for with our rent in a extra fee on top of our rent, but that's besides the point. But the house across the street was getting their seismic retrofit for about a week. So they were just like jackhammering the foundation. And you can imagine being in an area where you have a talk show and it can be quiet all day. But the hour you decide to have a client from like the Netherlands or Norway, then it's like, you can't prevent that. You can't lock it out. Like dogs barking, planes flying overhead. One time I was on a show and I was getting a feedback loop in my ear. I was hearing my own self on a delay on a live show. And what was worse, my guests couldn't hear the live feedback loop. So I felt like I was a mad person. Like, welcome back here. I'm sure you guys are hearing that, but we're going to press through. And I was like, no, we can't. Well, what's wrong with you, bro? Well, I guess what I'm saying is, and for those of you who watch us or watch me do things, I want to try doing podcasting. Hey, I want to try doing content creation. Go ahead and do it. Don't let anything stop you. You start off what you have, you build on it. You only have is a cell phone, make that happen. But no one can really prepare you for the first time where you don't know what the heck's going on with your screen, and you don't know if anyone else sees you or you're just suffering alone. It's a trip. And I guess the impetus of the reason why I brought this up is sometimes tech is not even out of your hands. About 3 weeks ago, this actually affected me mentally, I guess. I don't think it's like on a psychological level. Well, I'll say mental, on a mental level. I was on a live show, a panel for another network, meaning it wasn't my system. It wasn't one of my shows. It was for the Rock League thing. And unbeknownst to me, the video streaming app they use and the browser that I use on the back end on code were not talking to each other due to a bad update. And that meant my face was all pixelated. So like it looked like my camera was breaking basically. And I'm doing a speed test, fine. Camera app is saying you're perfect. And I'm sitting there going, well, I'm obviously not. And we had to go live. I couldn't stop the bus. I couldn't drop out. And I got roasted. Everyone was making fun of my camera. They were trying to do a GoFundMe for my equipment, which, by the way, if you're going to give me money, by all means, do that. You can by helping a brother out at buymeacoffee.com/FloboBoyce. That's right. Support the homie at buymeacoffee.com/FloboBoyce. But that's not the point. What I'm saying is when everyone's having jokes about how bad your technology is, it's always, oh, you got the cheap Wi-Fi. Oh, your camera sucks. It does start to weigh on you. It's almost like you're being heckled, but not for like having bad content, but like having the bad setup. You know, it's almost like there's a difference between making fun of somebody if they, I don't know, mix match colors on a shirt and tie because they could take the tie off or change their shirt. But then imagine making fun of someone's face, right? You can't change that. And in the moment, it wasn't like, hey, Flobo, your opinion about this wrestler is wrong. Boo this man. It was, oh my gosh, your camera is as bad as your jokes. Terrible. And you're like, I can't defend that. Technology, man, it's a rough thing. It's often not talked about because it can fail on you. It will fail on you. You get into your own head. You start going to things like, hope it doesn't break on me. You start worrying more about the gear than what's happening. And that is just another difficulty, another challenge that people don't really talk about when they're doing this. And that was on my mind this week. I'm not sure why it was on my mind this week and not last week or the week before, but that's why I want to talk to you this week on What's Up, Flobo. Thanks for coming out. Check out the show. Again, there's only 2 people in the world that watch this show, and one of them is my mom. So say hello to my mom in the comments, please. She loves reading those stuff. And James Lott Jr. over at JLJ Media, 30 billion shows and counting. If you aren't a fan of him already, make sure you head over there, hit that subscribe button, download all the content. That does it for me. I'm getting out of here. See you next week.